Welcome back to Boobtube Boutique, the subset uh series that we have over here on the Baron's Hideout podcast. We started doing this with the boys. Anna and myself have been wanting to do TV for a while, so we started with that, and then that ended, and then we just started doing Daredevil, and this will be our second episode on it. We're going by 4 episodes at a time, so we're doing episodes 5 through 8
Yes.
on this one. And Anna, just from your perspective, from the first chunk that we did up until now, how are you feeling with this series?
So this has just, I feel like from episode 1 to where I am now with episode 8,
Hmm.
the pedal has just progressively been pushed down a little more.
Okay.
And now, I mean, if I didn't like it from episode 1, I would have told you, dude, this just really isn't my bag, you know? So
Sure.
I,
Fair
I've
enough.
liked it from the jump,
Hmm.
but as it's progressed, it's just pulled me in even more. And especially with episode 7 and 8, I was just like, what? It's gotten to the point now where I'm like talking to the screen and audibly reacting. And I've been doing some watching at work, I mentioned on past episodes. And we've had a bit of a lineup change up in the kitchen. So we've got some new people back there. And I've heard them talk about Daredevil before, so
Sure.
I kind of skirted it in and I was like, so I started watching Daredevil and they're like, oh yeah, what do you think? And I'm like, don't spoil anything. I always like
Yeah, yeah.
preface that, but I'm just like telling them what I'm thinking as I go. And so, especially with these four that I watched recently, I've been updating them more. And I had one on the other day when I was prepping and I was like, ah, I was like, what? The backstory with Fisk fucking like punched me in my gut. And that was
Yeah.
one I was watching at work and I was like, that motherfucker talking about his dad. I was just like, ah, he deserved that, which we can
Yeah,
get
you did.
into. But something I have noticed a lot is that the more we see of Fisk, the more we're kind of seeing that him and Daredevil aren't really that different. They're kinda like the same, but on different sides of the playing field.
Yeah, for sure. One
S
is way more, I'm going to be really in your face and try to do what I need to do. And the other one's like, I'm going to be more in the shadows trying to do something good, but also I'm beating people up. You
Yeah,
know?
he's just beating people up and he's not killing anybody. Like, whenever we meet, like, full on meet Fisk and he ends up killing one of the Russian brothers, and he fights him in the parking lot and then smashes his head in that SUV, I was like, "Okay. Hi, Wilson Fisk. Nice to meet
Mhm.
you." Like, I've heard so much about you, and now I see it. Um, but yeah, I'm loving it so far. Like, I have not found anything negative, honestly, like in all these 8 episodes. And I'm trying to not get ahead of myself because I also worry like about my brain and forgetting things. So I'm trying to, if I know we're going to record, I'm going to watch the next 4, you know what I mean?
Ah,
So
fuck it. Just watch it all and just rewatch it.
no, I can't. Because Marley has sadly not gotten into it. So
Oh,
she's,
really?
I know, dude. I
Maybe it's
know.
too slow for her. Maybe it's too much the
It's too talky.
talking.
It's too talky. Like, when the action stuff's on, oh, dude, she's looking at the screen. She
Yeah.
is into it if I'm watching it with her in the room. But yeah, the more I've watched it, the more she's like, do you have to watch this? So it's kind of something that I'm just watching on my own right now.
Well, you
But
should
yeah,
tell her,
normally,
and this isn't really a spoiler, but like the action will start ramping up from here on out.
okay,
So,
Lord, yeah, I'm excited.
yeah.
But so I'm also, I just okay. I'm also kind of falling for Fisk. And I know he's supposed to be the bad
Mm.
guy. And I know he's not like, I don't know, he's not like hunky boy like Murdoch or
Mhm.
anything, you know. But I don't know, there's something about him and I'm kind of
It's his
seeing
voice.
it, yeah, it's the allure about him, right? And just I don't know.
And
And
always making you feel sad for him. Also, he loves to do that thing where he tries to, oh, well, I'm doing this thing. And then Vanessa, is always just like, okay. I'm here for you because he's a manipulator, right? So at the end of the day, he's manipulating you a little bit, and he's
Okay.
trying to give you like this bigger, broader vision of what he's trying to do and making it sound all great and be like, yeah, I'm trying to save the city and blah 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 blah. Like in a
Okay.
way you are, but also you're an asshole, dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. But there has been so many times where I do kind of see the villain side of things. Not so many times, but here lately, like we just talked about Shane with The Walking Dead, that's been a topic of
What was
conversation
that?
recently. What
What
is
was
it?
that?
What is it? But I kind of so I once again, first time watch.
Hmm.
I'm seeing the charm, and I'm seeing why it's
Sure.
easy for people to get roped up in his world. But the one thing that I don't understand and I'm questioning is like I love Vanessa. I'm like, okay, this is like a strong, powerful woman. She doesn't need him. She's fine by herself.
Hmm. Hmm.
We haven't really seen like much go on between them. I think in episode 8, maybe, or maybe 7, like we see that they've been spending time on the phone together, like talking at night. It feels very like high school, which is kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
cute.
yeah.
But I just don't know what her game is because I feel like a woman like that, as smart as she is, and she obviously knows he's up to stuff, and especially now we see he tells
Mm,
her the story of what happened, what him and his mom did to his dad.
yeah.
So she knows the kind of shady, bad shit he can get into. Why is she not running for the hills? Is it the money? I don't think so because you're a
My lips are
curator.
sealed, man.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Please keep them still. But I'm just thinking out loud,
Sure, sure, sure. I
and
like
I'm just
hearing
like,
this though.
yeah, and I'm like, so she owns, I think she owns this art gallery or she runs it, one of the two. Either way, that's a ton of
Yeah,
money.
she's a curator.
Curator, thank you. Okay, so it's she's making bank, dude. She does not need Wilson Fisk. So what is in it for her? Or who is she working for that's trying to get close to him? But man,
Mhm.
when he is bombing Hell's Kitchen in episode 7 and all
Oh,
those
dude.
explosions, or end of 6, whatever, they
Six,
blur
yeah.
together sometimes, yeah. But when all the explosions start happening and we see like her looking out the window in the penthouse and we see the fires out there and he's kind of walking up behind her and we see his reflection behind her and he's like, he gives his little short little monologue and she just is like, good. And I was like, "Oh shit." Like she's in for the ride with him. Like
Yeah.
this, we're about to have some power couple energy here. And I don't know how it's gonna how it's gonna end by the end of season 1. So
Mhm.
yeah, man, there's a lot of wheels turning and a lot of stuff happening, and it's very, I love the crime underlord, like underworld stuff of it. That's what I'm intrigued with. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't like, I'm not looking at this as like a Marvel superhero movie.
It doesn't
Like,
feel like it. That's
it
what I love
doesn't.
about it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that at all, and I think that's what's so refreshing to me, and it's what's kept me interested. It feels just like a kinda like original content, for lack of better
Hmm.
words, something that I'm not used to seeing. And I do love that, Leland, I think I mentioned this last episode, but he does play he's the prick, warden in Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a real asshole, but I love seeing Fisk too, like, meet with him and the Russians, and I believe Miss Gal,
Mm.
I and this is something else that made me love Fisk even more too, is, like, he respects the cultures. Like, he respects her culture and her language, and even Wesley's like, "Well, why don't you just tell her this?" And Fisk is like, "It's impossible to lie to that woman. I cannot do that. I have to tell her the truth." Even as
Yeah.
painful as that might be, and we kinda see, like, maybe that might play into some of his mother of him and what happened with
Sure.
her, but just, he's having that one-on-one with her in the one episode when he gets pissed and throws a temper tantrum. But before that, when
Mm.
they're talking in the garage, he's like, let me walk you to your car. And he does the nice gentleman thing, and she's an old woman, so she puts her hand on his arm and he walks her to the car. Like, he's not so high up and so full of himself that he doesn't see the bigger picture of things like that, which
Yeah,
like the relatability of people and cultures. I love, and that's what I love about him. And I think that's what ties into his character and why he's wanting to do what he's wanting to do with Hell's Kitchen, wanting to
yeah.
rebuild it and the culture of it and the people. And so there is an element of that that I do respect and admire. But I also, there we've got Daredevil. He's our main guy. And that's kind of the one we're supposed to be cheering for. And I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
like you, Fisk. I like watching you and what you're doing.
Man, I wanted to know how people are going to respond to you saying that, but
Oh no,
I
don't
can
come for me.
really I understand where you're coming from though. I really do because like out of all these villains we've seen on screen, right, they're always like real big bad guys who like, always thrust their power everywhere. Not to say that he's not, but
Right.
he is like along with the show, it's very grounded. It's very humanistic. It's not we're in outer space floating, killing aliens, or we're seeing all
Yeah.
the aliens come and invade New York, like we saw in like the Avengers, because that's what
Yeah.
was happening around this time. But this is coming out.
True.
We
Very
don't
true.
have
Yeah.
Thor coming down with his hammer and shit and whatever. So yeah, to see him, want to blend these cultures, we'll say, and use them to help build what he's trying to do, but also to help build his own personal like vision of things, right? So he
Yeah.
knows what these people are capable of because he knows how to exploit them. He knows how to do this. Like even when he was explaining after he bombed the Russians and killed everybody, they're like, well, we really needed them because they were doing things. He's like, well, now we're splitting it with instead of 5, it's 4, and they're all like, okay, that the money is there now.
Yeah.
Even though Gao is having her doubts, as we saw, you said, they had that one-on-one where she found his apartment and she's like, no one's supposed to know where you're supposed to be. You're very secretive. How do you think I found out? It's because you're getting sloppy. And
Yes.
it's
I
because he is
love
because
that.
of Vanessa. He's now
He's
cutting.
in love. Dude, I didn't even put that into the
Yeah.
puzzle even until you just said that.
Yeah, so like, this whole time his mind has been literally just on this one vision of trying to help Hell's Kitchen. And now he stumbles into an art gallery, finds this very beautiful woman. He has Wesley recommending things to drink and
I
do.
do love Wesley. He's the
Um,
MVP though, I gotta say.
yeah, yeah,
He
he
is. I want an
Wesley is
assistant like
cool.
Wesley.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it even feeds into um during episode 8 where things are going shitty and he flips the table and he tells Wesley to leave and then he comes back later and he goes, I didn't ask you for anything. It's like, I don't think that's always true. And then who does he bring in? Vanessa. So
Vanessa.
it's like he knows that if he's spiraling or things are going wrong, the only thing that can keep him grounded is Vanessa because he knows that he's in love now. And
Yes,
he's never
very
seen
true.
that side of him before. He's only seen the brute force or working behind the shadows, that whole thing of him literally ruining the plan that everybody was doing, and not just Daredevil, but we got Foggy and Karen and Ben all now doing this, and even Daredevil goes to Ben at the end and
There's
tells
a
them all
lot
this
of
stuff.
moving pieces that are all eventually going to come together in the end.
Yes, yes, and it gets pretty wild, and we haven't even met our other big bad yet, which is going to be really really cool when you start seeing that, which I
We've
think
got
actually might
another
happen.
big bad.
Got another big bad. I
I
think
didn't know
that might
this.
happen in episode 9. I think is when we start seeing stuff of that. But yeah, there's been so much stuff, and another thing that we saw during all this that I was happy to see because he was very very prominent in the comics is Stick. Stick was really really cool. Having a full episode on him was great. So, what did you think about that?
Oh my gosh. I love that actor. I was actually meaning to look his name up because he's popped up in so many things over the years and he's wonderful. And when
Yeah,
I
I'll get
heard
his
his
name too.
voice, it's one of those where I know him. Like I knew I think he's actually the voice of Candy Cane in Joyride, the CB, the truck,
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
with Paul Walker.
Hmm.
I'll look it up in a minute. But yeah, he's been in so many things over the years. And I was like, especially once I realized he was blind. and then
Mm.
that Matt knew him. And then we go into the next episode, we roll over, and then we get the backstory with them. It's just fucking sad too, man. There's a lot of this show that's really sad. That's another thing I said to the guys at work, because that's the episode I was on, is when like his training's going really good. It's like he's having a good day. They're having, I guess, somewhat of a bonding experience, for lack of better words. And then he's like,
Yeah.
"Here, I made you something." And he hands him, and he's like, "Well, what is this?" And he's like, "It's a bracelet I made you from the ice cream cone we ate on the very first day we met."
Hmm.
And he crumbles it up in his hand. I said, "You bastard." I said that audibly out loud at work, and the guys were like, "What happened?" And I was like, and I told them, and I did this, and they're just laughing at me. They're getting a crack at,
I
kick
needed a
kick out of it.
soldier.
I
You
know. I
know,
was like, but he's a kid, dude. So, but we also see stuff like, is that the other big bad that he's talking to?
I'm not saying shit.
Okay, okay, because that was
You're
another
not getting
question
it
I
out of
had.
me.
That's another
Nope.
question I had, because I was like, because the episode ended, I was like, now who's he talking to? I turned around and was talking to the Nick. It's like, who's he talking to now? And he's like, I don't know. He's playing coy too, but he's up to something as well. So now we have another moving part. And I guess just like movie brain, TV brain of me is a little leery. I'm like, okay, are y'all gonna wrap this up in a good way, or at least bring this together in a good way? Because I know there's more after this.
Mhm.
It could very well end on a cliffhanger, and that's fine because I can just go into the next season. But I'm just like, there's a lot of moving parts. Like, how is it all gonna form together in a nice big round circle to where everything kind of fits, and it doesn't feel convoluted or just too
Mhm.
much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I feel like they do a really a good job of episode to episode of making everything feel very well put together. Like the writing of this, I feel like is really good.
Yeah, for sure.
If this was going to be a movie, it would have been a jumbled mess. It would have been awful.
There's no way,
No
absolutely
way.
no way you could do this into a movie. That's why the Ben Affleck one wasn't that great.
Oh God, dude, that depiction of fucking Bullseye was awful. Um,
Ugh.
but yeah, there's just been a lot going on when you compare it to the first four episodes. Not to say that there wasn't a lot, because there was. And one thing I failed to mention, that was a very big part of episode two, was when Daredevil goes to save the kid, and we have that whole one shot, like that whole like 5-6 minute just one shot, incredible.
So
And
epic, dude. So epic. You're just trying to watch everything. You're
yeah.
trying to take it all in. These fights in this show are so well choreographed. Like,
Hmm.
I'm just blown away. And that's why Marley, if she's in the room watching it, once those fights start happening, boy, she's glued to the screen because they
You
are
should have her
so.
watch Arrow. If you've never watched the Arrow, the
Oh, the
CW
CW?
show.
Yeah. I should do that. I never watched those CW, like, Marvel shows, like Agents of
Those are
Shield
pretty
and all
good.
those. I've heard they are actually. And
Hmm.
some stuff, was it Agent Clark, some people, he's on Agents of Shield and he's in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Marvel movies. Like, they have some breadcrumbs to the early Marvel movies I'd like to check out. But yeah, man, the action in this is great. That Warner in the car, I was just, oh man,
Dude,
it was so fucking good. Yeah. And then
it
after
really
we recorded,
was.
you were like, damn it, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, yeah. But going back to that, when we open up in episode five, we get another one shot of the guy in the car. He's singing, and the guy's like, "Shut up, stop singing." And then like it's just all this is just panning from the front of the car to the back, just in a circle, and then we see
Mhm.
Daredevil in front of the car, goes around, he's gone, and then the guys come out, and then our dude in the car just gets killed, which that's sad.
That was very
That was
sad,
sad.
man. That was very
Um,
sad. And Karen and Foggy, hold on, I just found his name. Scott Glenn. That's his name, the actor who plays
okay.
Stick. He was in The Hunt for Red October, Sucker
Oh
Punch,
shit.
The Born Legacy, Castle Rock. He was in Castle Rock. I mean,
Really?
he's been in so much stuff over the years, especially in
Yeah.
the 80s. But Karen and Foggy are on their like side quest as well. They're doing the good lawyer thing.
Yeah.
Karen's still kind of working with Ben behind the scenes, although now at the end of these 8 episodes, we've seen that like Karen has let Foggy know what she's doing with Ben. Ben knows too, and Ben knows that Foggy can be trusted. So now
Mhm.
there's like one less secret. We've got these three working together. They've told Matt what's been going on, and he's got to be in control of everything. So he thinks they can't take care of themselves. So they need to just stay put, which I hope they don't, because Matt, you're not always right. It's okay. But just, oh man, when Foggy schooled that old bitch he used to work with or went to school with and date,
Yeah.
that was so epic. And Marley was in the room for that one. She goes, "I don't like her." And I was like, "Yeah, you shouldn't. She's a mean girl. We don't like people like that." And
Mhm.
then when he tells Karen, "Oh, we used to date," her face. That's another thing I told the guys. I was like, if Karen and Foggy don't wind up together and she ends up with Matt, I'm gonna be pissed. That's
Mm.
another thing I have to say. You're like, no, no, I don't want to know.
I'm not saying
But
shit.
but I just love how good they are. Like, they're just
Yeah.
they're trying, even Matt, like he's trying to do good. And when we see that this apartment complex, this rent control that's about to be demolished, they can't get the
Yeah, Miss
tenants out.
Cardenas.
Yeah, Miss Cardenas, they can't buy them out. They've lived there forever. And even she says, we don't want the money. It's not about a bigger
And
number.
who
We
owns
just
that
want our
building, by the
home.
way?
Wilson Fisk.
And Tully.
Yes, I
So
know.
we got a little bit of Hell House in here.
Oh yeah, see, he's weaseling his way in.
You see, owning apartments in fucking Hell's Kitchen now.
You see somebody in a closet like doing spells and like talking to people until he shows up. But yeah, and when the explosions happen in Hell's Kitchen, they're there with Miss Cardenas because
Hmm.
it's just like Karen says, it'd be rude to say no. She cooks for them, and they're like, "Oh no, we can't stay," but they have to because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to respect their culture. You have to sit there and eat. She cooked for you. And, yeah, they get blown back, and Foggy gets a piece of something in his side, and Miss Cardenas gets a head wound, and
Hmm.
luckily, just like Foggy says, good thing we didn't leave her. Good thing we were there with her. She very well
Yeah,
could have bled out and died. And
yeah.
then taking her to the hospital, they realize Foggy's hurt. So it's just a mess. Like everybody's
Hmm.
just strewn out everywhere. And then the detective that was working for Fisk had hired somebody to kill Ben, but Ben moved and got in the way or something. Like the
Yeah,
detective came over and was giving him shit because Ben was mouthing off to him. And then he got in the way of the bullet, and the detective ended up getting hit, and he worked for Fisk. So
yeah.
in
Fuck him
order,
though. Fuck him.
oh, I hated that guy. He was a
Fucking Blake.
fucking New
Blake and
York
Hoffman. Yeah, those
Hoffman.
two
Yeah, he was
guys.
Blake. No, that was him. Yeah, he was a
Yeah, Blake.
New York asshole. And
Yeah.
then even though he's been loyal, we've seen him in a few scenes be loyal to Fisk, like just as
Hmm.
viewers. So we know he's good with Fisk, but even after this happens, Fisk is still like, I don't know, should we just take care of him? And I'm like, so then, of all things, he gets a one-on-one with his partner, who it's not like they just started working together. Like, no, they've been detectives and patrol officers. Like they have worked their way up, just
Yeah.
like the relationships you hear with cops in movies. They're Riggs and Murtaugh. So he's asking his partner and giving him a fuck ton of money, and he actually says, "How much is each one of those 30 years worth to you?"
That's insane, dude.
Dude, I want to know the number he gave him. Just me being nosy. Like, what was that year, each of those years
Jesus.
worth to you? For him to go in and play it coy. And because of the situation, he's got other officers that Hoffman knows outside his hospital room. And in being a New Yorker, they got to love their subs and their Italian food. So he's like, oh, I'm bringing him a sub. It's his favorite. It's from around the corner. And so
Yeah.
the other cop who knows him, no big deal. We see this shit all the time, and I'm like, no, 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 no. But I'll be damned. I was not expecting Daredevil to be in the fucking corner, waiting in the
Dude, yeah.
shadows in that hospital room, just keeping watch over him. But even then, it wasn't enough. Like, and man, that dude, How would you react if you were in the hospital and someone like Daredevil came up to you and was after all that shit happened and was like, your partner just injected something into your IV, and at this rate, it's already at your heart. You're gonna die. Like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing anyone in this hospital can do to save you. You need to tell me what you know about Fisk.
I would just do it. I'm like, okay, here you
Well, I
go.
mean,
I
I
mean, I
would
got no
too.
other fucking choice.
In the context of this movie, I know, right? In the context of this show, I would, but golly, just I could not fathom that in real life. Like someone telling me face to face, you're about to die. It's about to
Yeah.
happen. There's nothing you can do.
It's like, well, I'm in a hospital though, you know?
Yeah, exactly
Mhm.
right. That's the irony. You think you're supposed to
Mhm.
be safe and you're not.
Mhm.
So fucked up. But because he's Daredevil and he doesn't kill people, he doesn't even kill his partner. He just subdues him. So he's
Yeah.
going to prison. So you took all that money from Fisk to kill your partner, a dude that you loved and was good, like on good terms with. Y'all were friends. You didn't even know about his association with Fisk until all this happened.
Yeah, it's true.
And you just real quick took that money and said, yeah, I'll kill him. Sorry. And he says, sorry, buddy, as he puts it in the IV. Like, and
And
you're
he
so
wakes up too, and it's just like, oh man. Like, fuck
I
you, Hoffman.
can't, dude. Like, what the like you deserve to go to prison.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
deserve it. But man, it's just I'm just loving the ride. I'm loving the twists.
yeah,
I'm not knowing what's going to be around the corner, and it's surprising me. So I mean, this
yeah.
is what I'm looking for in shows like this, and
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I'm
I
digging it.
like the originally when I was watching this, before like all the episodes came out on Netflix and I was, watching them one by one. The episode that really got me was episode 6, was when everything was blowing up and Daredevil's now with Vladimir, and he's got that one-on-one with him and like all this
Yeah.
shit's going crazy. I'm like, where is this going? And to see how badass, like, yeah, the Russians sucked, but this guy refused to die multiple times.
Yeah,
He
his
was
will to live, he was like, "I'm not going out like this." Like, dude,
nope.
the adrenaline that shot through his body multiple
Hmm.
times and just the no fucks left. He had no fucks left to give. He was like, "No, I'm not going out like this." I
Yeah,
A plus for effort, buddy. Vladimir,
yeah.
I appreciate your effort.
And like, he has to call Claire, like, yeah, got shot. And she's like, is there an exit wound? No. It's like, okay, you gotta cauterize it, and he just gets a fucking flare. Like, oh
Ooh.
my God. And then like we get the other like this newbie cop, this outside, here's the screen, and like,
I'm glad you
sorry,
brought that
bud.
up. That broke my
Sorry,
heart
bud.
because he
He's
doesn't give it up because he doesn't know. He's
yeah.
just a regular old beat cop, dude.
Yeah, he's not paid off.
He's not.
That's the thing.
And the fucked up part of it is that, once again, Daredevil doesn't kill, so he doesn't kill him. He just knocks him out. And then
Hmm.
after he leaves and they're coming through later with orders from Fisk to kill everyone,
Hmm.
they kill him because only because he's left alive. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, dude, there's been a lot of moments like that where I'm just like, oh fuck, like that
Is it making you
sucks.
want him to start killing people now?
A little bit, yeah. And I'm kind of
Like,
I'm kind of
God
like
damn it, dude.
Stick. I'm kind of like Stick a little bit. That's who I was just bitching about earlier. See, like this show's pulled me in like three different directions. I don't know
Yeah,
who to
yeah,
side
yeah.
with because I do see a lot of points in all people, and especially in
Hmm.
the series. But yeah, man, Matt is he's got a good heart and he means well, but he's driven by rage. And I feel like there's something that I don't know yet. I feel like I'm not in 100% on something else has to be driving him
I
just from
also
where
think
where
because
I'm
this
at
is
now.
still like very new, right? Like he hasn't really, when you really think about it, he hasn't been doing this for that long.
Right.
Um, so a part of him, I think, is he's still a little naive, and he's just like he still
Very.
has a lot of like hope that people can sort of turn around and be good because like where he grew up. I mean, that's what he wants, right? He wants everybody to have a good heart at the end of it, or at least understand why he's doing the things that he's doing, and get them to
Much
kind
like
of
Fisk.
yeah, like just swap their mind and be like, you know what, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. But
Right.
now feel like he's growing a lot deeper. He's understanding more layers. That there's a lot more layers to this, than anything else. Like I don't think at this point he knows about Gao. He
No,
knows
not yet.
about oh God, what's his name?
Matt doesn't anyways. Matt
The the
only knows
the
Leland.
Japanese guy, what's his name? Um
We
the
saw
one
him
with
in
Black
these.
Sky.
Yes,
So he
we saw
knows
him in
that.
these episodes. Okay.
But I
Okay,
don't think
yeah.
he knows that's tied to Fisk because he was doing that stuff with Stick.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he knows
He's
about the Black Sky, and that's pretty much it. But he doesn't know that he's part of
he
like what Fisk is doing.
he hasn't connected those dots yet. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's
Yeah.
a little bit of layer of him still thinking, well, Fisk only knew this and the Russians, and he doesn't know about too much of the drug deals yet. I don't believe. We did see, I think, early on, like the factory that Gao has, and it's crazy that she has everybody be blind, and that's just because she doesn't want anybody to know where she works, right? So everybody
That's
there is
kind of
blind.
genius. That's kind of gangster though, not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
So like,
I
and then
like
that
Gal.
one guy
She's a
fucking
real
walks
bitch.
in and they're like, "Hey, are we expecting another delivery?" They look over and the guy blows them all up.
Yeah,
My God,
I was
you
like,
are a
oh fuck.
badass.
She is, dude. She's a gangster. I love her. And
Yeah,
just
she's really cool.
and that's what I love about I don't know. I don't know if it's the culture, but I always see like Japanese, Chinese, Mandarin women, like if they're in any position of power in film, TV, anything I watch, man, they are just gangster as fuck
Yeah,
every single time. And I'm like, this has to be for a reason. It has to be because these women are actually that in their culture. And I
probably.
fucking love it, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this woman, like us as Americans are the Wilson Fisks of the world are what we're taught to fear. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But in another culture, it's this little old lady
Yeah.
who we would think as Americans wouldn't harm a fly.
Yeah.
Boy, hell yeah, she would, and then some. So I love that. I love that dynamic between them, and the fact that he respects her and just puts her on a pedestal and will not, he knows she's right, kind of thing.
Hmm.
I love that dynamic. So yeah, man, it's good. Good shit. Good shit.
Yeah. I love the whole interaction with her in the apartment too, and
Yes.
how she like really gets under his skin. And that is the Fisk that I like, is just seeing him just be completely overcome with rage and like really it's embarrassment is what really I feel like fuels like his way of doing that. We saw that with Vanessa early on when he killed the Russian, literally severed his head in the fucking car door.
Yes, dude. It's
Insane.
learned behavior. Look at how his dad acted. He was an
Hmm.
embarrassment to the town. He ran to be a part of the city commission and,
Hmm.
golly, and when his dad made him go beat that guy up, that shit was so I don't know, kid stuff like that just hurts my soul, man. And even though it is a villain, all villains start out innocent. We're all born pure, the
Yeah.
way I believe, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I feel like villains, especially in movies and TV, are born somehow. And for us to see it and the why, it does make it a little bit more relatable in this
Yeah.
instance. And for
Hmm.
him to like, oh God, it's just and then for his dad to want to go meet the dude's dad who was talking shit about him, and then Wilson hearing him beat the shit out of his mom because you think I'm an embarrassment, and just like the town thinks I'm an embarrassment, and you don't stand up for me and you don't take up for me. And it's like, well, why don't you just take some fucking responsibility for yourself and
Hmm.
stop blaming everyone in the town and everything around you for the way you feel? And
Yeah.
Wilson took that upon himself and said no. And it was like he experienced a traumatic event and he was reliving it because he was saying the same thing
Yeah.
the same thing he was doing when kick him harder, when that's what his dad was saying to him when he was beating the bully up. And then that's what he was saying to his dad. Oh man. And then his mom, that shit broke my heart too, because I would do the same fucking thing and be like, it's okay, come here. If Marley did something like that. And then his mom's like, get the saw. I was like,
Yeah. You know that she's got some pent up rage over the years of being
you
like,
damn right. That ain't the first time that man's hit her. It's
no, and you can
not.
see that from the first time we see her, all the bruises and shit on her.
I
Like, oh,
know,
okay, you
dude.
know this guy's a piece of shit.
And in this
And
moment, I was like, he deserved it.
yeah.
Good
Yeah,
for
we were
them.
taking bags of him down to the lake, every other night. for a
Yeah, for a
week.
week, I was like, "Oh,
Damn, man.
shit." And you tell that on your 3rd date, and she
Yeah,
sticks around, you got a real one, Fisk.
yeah,
You
yeah,
better
yeah.
hold on to her.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very crazy. And like this, I remember watching this back in the day and being like, I need more immediately. I need to see what's happening. Like we're seeing, Fisk out in daylight now, which we have not at all.
I know.
He's somehow got a lot of cameras on him. I imagine it's because he's paid everybody and be like, hey, I'm going to do the statement. And then right now we're like, we don't really know what he's trying to do, other than like maybe getting ahead of what obviously they were trying to do is we're going to
Yeah.
pull him out and say his name. I think at this point he realizes, well, I have to. I got to do this.
And
Gal knows where I lives.
you know who's probably whispering that in his ear? Vanessa.
Mm,
You need to get out there and get ahead of things before somebody you've pissed off decides to put your name out in the open before you do. Because that's
yeah,
what pissed me off at the end of episode 8. A bit we hear Ben's voiceover and he's
so good, right?
writing the article. Dude, I
Oh,
loved it. I loved the way where it was leading. And then once I heard Fisk speaking on TV, I stopped. I was like, what?
you
And I was like,
motherfucker.
this motherfucker is coming out right before Ben writes this. And he knows it too. Ben knows it. He's seeing it all. I'm like, what? So
Yeah,
now,
and he was
yeah,
just told all this information literally the night before.
I
This
know.
all happened in like 1 day span.
Yeah, not even 24 hours. He didn't even go to bed. He's just been up writing.
And everybody, and I love how we pan to literally everybody. Even Matt gets so
Yes,
pissed he breaks his fucking laptop.
dude. Oh
Damn
man.
it.
I'm so, so excited to see how, like, not only how the season ends, because I know we get more, but
Mm,
just like where we go from here. Like
mm,
what is Ben and Karen gonna be, and Foggy now because he's in on it. Like, what are they gonna be doing for damage control?
mm.
I really don't want Matt to piss me off anymore. I want him to like trust.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta trust your friends. You can't control everything.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're a main character in a show, like, especially with a show like this, that it like right now, it's not just fully focused all on Matt. We're getting a lot of other people too, like
Yeah. Yeah.
with equal screen time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you can't be in control of everything. Trust them. They're fine. They're capable. So
Yeah.
I want him to settle down. But and that's another way that Matt and Fisk are similar and they mirror each other, is that they're at the core of them, they're both still trying to get over shit from their childhood. Both of them. They both, just like
Hmm.
Matt with Stick, the way he was acting, and Fisk having a hissy fit. They're both acting like fucking children who can't get their way. When Stick
Yeah.
shows up and everything he's saying him, it's one of those like, yeah, you're right, but it fucking pisses me off to say it, to know you're
Yeah.
right, and I'm going to show that anger even more. And then we
Hmm.
see the same thing from Fisk when he smashes the fucking Russian's head in the door just for getting embarrassed. I was like, God damn, dude.
Flips that
Like,
table. Like, god damn,
I
man.
would hate to see you on like a really bad day. Like, I ain't seen you
Yeah.
really, really
Yeah.
bad yet. You know what I mean? I've seen you blow
Hmm.
some people off, but
Yeah. He's not full blown kingpin yet, but you'll get
right.
that.
Yeah.
You'll get that. Um,
Uh,
another scene that I really liked, they tried to do this in the movie, and I thought it was really cheesy. They did it with rain though. And this one was the episode World on Fire, is where he's talking to Claire, and Claire's like, what do you see? He's like, and I like they have that moment. I think you're even saying, like, I hope they fucking like kiss or do something. And
yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
finally did. And he goes, and she asks him, what do you see? And he goes, a world on fire. And we see like his perspective. I'm like, no wonder why you're so pissed off, man. I think she even says that to him too. It's like
Yeah.
I would be mad too if all I was seeing is everybody burn. So that was really,
That's
really cool.
I'm glad you brought that up because Claire is a question in my mind because now things have kind of, I guess, simmered down between them, or like they still care about each other,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I think they both have realized that, the situation they're in together is not healthy, and they definitely are probably not going to be together or work together cohesively based on the situation they're in. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they've kind of like backed off from each other. but she's still a nurse and she's at the hospital. Like she's there when Foggy and Karen bring Miss
Mm-hmm.
Cardenas, and she
Mm-hmm.
speaks Spanish. So she's helping her, she's there helping the Spanish speaking people, figure things out at the hospital. So then
Yeah.
Matt calls her and she's walking him through stuff and giving him advice. But that's really all we've seen in these last few episodes. So I'm wondering, like, are we going to get like an official send off with Claire? Is she going to come back around and stay in the story? Are they going to fall
Yeah.
in love? And Karen's never going to be on his mind because it's Karen and Foggy as it should be. And because he's too worried about Claire. Or is she just going to dip off into the sunset and she's just going to be written off as a character we're just going to remember from season one, kind of thing? She's not going to continue and carry over, or she's going to die, or they're going to figure out who she is and somebody's going to kill her. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering now. Like, because right now it seems like she's not as much of a main character as she was when we first started. And I know it's
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson who plays her. And I even said that at the beginning. I was like, damn, I didn't realize she was in this. And maybe
Yeah.
I'd
And at that
heard
time, she was in like everything too around this
exactly.
time, you know?
And maybe I'd heard about it and forgot, but it kind of did seem familiar. But I don't, just like in my brain, I don't remember her being a part of this show for a very long time, but I could be wrong as well. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of what I'm pulling off of just by, entertainment news and being in the
Sure.
zeitgeist and stuff. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where that goes to. I really hope that Miss Cardenas and the residents of that building get to stay there.
Yeah.
Poor Foggy trying to do his drywall cracked me up and being like, "Oh, I had it, my dad or my uncle, whoever he says he had a family member who puts up drywall."
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
And the electrician they got out of the drunk tank.
Yes, and he owes us a favor. I
Yeah.
love little callbacks to things like that. That
Yeah.
can play into characters and their careers and things they do.
Yeah, because you're getting like those subtle hints of being like, okay, so the business it's working. We're not really seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot more of them doing their own personal journeys and stuff. But to
There's
know
stuff
like,
happening off screen that we're not seeing, kind of
yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and go back to what you're saying about Claire. I remember asking myself the same questions because I was like, the whole reason why Matt was protecting her is because the Russians knew where she was, right? And
exactly.
and I was even like thinking to myself too, like I know that she was a big actor, and I love seeing her on screen, but I was also like, how long is she gonna be? Is she gonna turn into a hero? Like, I was even thinking because I was really reading comics a lot back then. I'm like, is she a hero? And I don't remember if I ever stumbled upon anything, but I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. I'm not saying shit, but I'm
Right.
just saying like I was asking the same questions and like, where
Okay.
is this going to go?
Gotcha.
Um, and then obviously things play out and you'll learn like what happens.
Okay.
Another thing that happens that ties into the Blake thing that we were talking about is Matt goes to gather information on Tully at the police station. We see our guy who Foggy gives his mom cigars to, who was
Yes, I
also the
love
guy that
him.
was at the door that let Hoffman in to kill his friend. So
Yeah.
well obviously he didn't know. Um so Matt's patiently waiting and the police department with him and his hearing, right? He's
Mhm.
listening in on this conversation that Hoffman and Blake have one of the Russians in custody and trying to get stuff out of him. And they're like, oh, okay, we're just gonna leave. He goes, whoa, 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 wait, wait. I have a name. And they're like, oh, really? What name? He goes, Wilson Fisk. He's like, we can't say his name, but like that's the
Wilson
name.
Fisk.
And then then they do okay, whose turn is it? I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's happening here? And then they talk like, oh no, it's your turn because I did something at the last one that we did. He goes, oh fuck, you're right. All right, all right, all right. And Blake just decks him, and then they fucking kill the guy in there. Matt's like, shit, because obviously he's listening in
Yes.
on that. I'm like, whoa, okay, this show is getting crazy now. We're literally
Mhm.
blatantly just killing people in the fucking police station just because we
Mhm.
can, because we're paid off. It's just like that's
Yeah, because 'cause we're
insane.
paid off and we can do it and we can make things go away. Like, that's the
Yeah,
amount of money Fisk has
yeah,
that can make people just have these brass nuts and think they can get rid of or get away with anything. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And I also remember asking myself, like, how the fuck does he have all this money?
I
Being like,
know,
where
I'm
did all
wondering
that
that
come
too.
from? It's just like,
Because this is like dude, this is like endless amounts of money. Like
mm,
like I know he's a crime boss. Like I get that. But Like, what kind of crime boss are you? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
literally.
what kind of funds are you funneling? I need a little more
Hmm.
detail about what's going on, and I'm sure I'll get that eventually. But
Yeah, like this is definitely the part that I remember just being like, I need more. I need more. I need more. I need more. And like
mhm.
I said, we still got to see that other big bad, and I cannot wait to see your fucking reaction when this stuff starts fucking going. Because you think it's going now, Anna?
It's starting to
Oh
that
boy.
pedal's pushing. 7 and 8, man, was really it's
Yeah.
really reeling me in now. I'm like, "Man,
And
I gotta know."
I don't know if you remember, but I said last episode that we're doing this, I said you got to remember the name Mr. Potter. You got to remember that name.
Potter. Okay, no, I didn't
And we
remember that.
saw him in one of these episodes. It was him and Leland and Fisk in his like little workstation there making suits.
Uh-huh.
So just think about where that's going to be going.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Because who doesn't have a suit right now? Technically,
Matt?
Matt does not have a suit yet. So that's the only thing I'm going to say that you can be looking forward to that.
Okay.
But that's it.
Okay. Okay. I'm here
So
for this.
I'm getting chills just thinking about this because we have what 5 episodes left.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the next one's gonna be the next four, and then we're gonna do one episode for the finale and kind of just go over the whole
Yeah.
season.
Season as a whole, like where could season 2 go? Man, these
And
next
then
4 will be
oh,
probably be
season two. Oh, dude, there's so much good to be looking forward to. I'm so excited that you're on and you're enjoying this. I
Yeah.
was a little worried because it is a
I
bit
was too.
slow. It's a bit
But
slow
but
and very talky.
yeah, just because of me and just right now with, like, time and stuff like
Hmm.
that and life, I'm like, "Is it gonna be enough to, like, hook me and make me wanna make the time for it?" You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
And it did, it succeeded. I'll go ahead and say now I'm down to, like, keep reviewing this and, like,
Let's
finish it.
fucking
You
go,
know,
kid.
we might finish season 1 and might not go right into season 2, we might do something else, but yeah, I'm down
We'll
to
see how you're feeling.
yeah, you're
We'll
like, "No,
see.
we might just do that, yeah."
We'll see
Month
how
of
you're
Action
feeling.
Part 2, we're gonna hang it over into August.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I want to hear you were kind of, saying some questions, but do you have any theories or thoughts for the next 4 episodes? What do you think is going to go down? Obviously, I'm not going to say a yes or a no to it, but I want to hear your thoughts of like, where's your brain leading you?
I guess my biggest thoughts because also, like, I don't know anything about the comics of this
Sure,
either.
fair enough.
So I guess my biggest question is just, is Matt and Foggy gonna end up working for Fisk? Who or does Vanessa work for someone?
Hmm.
Maybe she works for this other big bad that Stick is talking to or knows. But something's up with her. Like, I'm just not the girl in me is like, "I love this. I'm here for this." But then, like, the skeptic in me is like, and I also as a girl, I'm just like, "Man, she jumped on this train real quick," without getting all the information,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or she took ride or die literally.
Yeah.
She's not asking any questions about where they're going.
Mm-mm.
She's just riding. Um, and so I don't know. I'm just along for the ride really, and just what is Fisk gonna do to make himself look even more like an upstanding citizen? Because I feel like what he's
Yeah.
doing now is the start of that, and that
Hmm.
is coming from Vanessa. If you wanna be out in the daylight and you wanna be someone and you wanna do all these great things you're talking about
Yeah.
and make Hell's Kitchen a better place, then
Hmm.
you're gonna have to come out as almost like a politician of sorts. And,
Mm.
she's already in the art world. I'm sure she knows many a rich people, which also makes me question her motives.
Hmm.
But I'm starting to think that she's going to be the one pulling the strings before long because
You
like you
think that she
said,
has like some kind of undertone of being like a different plan for her is what you're saying? Like she's trying to outsmart like Fisk and be like, I'm gonna do my own personal gain.
So there's a part of me that thinks that, yes, that
Okay.
and that part of me also thinks like that ties in with the she's working for somebody
Okay.
aspect, like the
Okay.
undercoverness of it all. But then there's a part of me that thinks maybe she's ride or die and she's just seeing his money and she's like, okay, well maybe
I wouldn't blame her.
yeah. Yeah.
I
And this
wouldn't blame her.
society, well, me thinking now in this economy, only Mo's, yeah, that money,
Yeah,
that
dude.
money's looking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's so many questions because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just along for the ride. I really hope that there's a lot of flawed people in this show. And ironically enough, I don't think that Foggy and Karen are in that category, at least not right now, but like Matt, Fisk, those two sides of the good and evil coin of the show, they're very flawed and there's more to them. And I don't think Fisk is all bad and I don't think Matt is all good. So
Mm,
it's just a matter of
mm.
where those paths take them, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I don't think obviously it won't all be answered by the end of the season, but I'm hoping that we can at least be on like a clear path for the two. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm all down for twists. I don't want to see everything black and white. I like the wondering.
Yeah.
I don't like for something to be so blatantly obvious that like even as I turn my brain off to just enjoy something, my brain switches back on and is like, bitch, you're smarter than this. Like you know what this
Yeah.
is doing.
Yeah.
So I like just seeing what happens.
Hmm.
So I'm digging it. I love it. I'm here
Hell
for
yeah.
it.
One other question that I want to ask you to see if you were getting the same vibes from me,
Hmm.
even this time around, and just like trying to switch off everything that I know that has happened. Where Karen and Foggy are doing that quote unquote date at Miss Cardenas because she sets that up.
Hmm.
The whole talk of Karen always asking Foggy, "Oh, how does Matt do this?" Or
Oh,
"How does Matt do?" Did you feel like she was asking questions? I'd like feel my face because she's into Foggy, or do you think there's a different thought of her being like, "No, I actually like Matt, but don't want to tell Foggy that." Like, how did you feel?
that's a really good question. I'm glad you brought that back up because in that moment, I did think that I did kind of feel bad for Foggy because I was like, oh no, I don't know if she's into him. Because, okay, if that were me
Hmm.
and I had a guy friend and I wouldn't want, like, if I wouldn't be like, hey, Dustin, feel my face. I
I was like,
wouldn't
"You fucking high?"
I wouldn't do so like when I think of it like that,
Yeah.
if I were to do that, it would be to imagine the person I liked doing that to me. So,
Okay.
when I see that scene, I think she's wanting Foggy to do that because she's trying to like picture him as Matt and how Matt would feel her face. That's the only reason I could see that happening, that scene, you
I
know.
was thinking the same thing that you were when I first saw this, and even now, like that's like I said, is blanking everything out that I know, being like that's how I was feeling. I mean, you'll find out like what happens, and because we got so much more to watch. But I just really wanted to know like the girl side of like how that was in your perspective,
Yeah.
because
Oh
that
yeah,
that is
you're
a
spot
very
on.
interesting scene,
It
and
is.
then they
I
get
was like,
fucking blown up.
yeah, and it didn't even that's what distracted me and made me forget about it. Very good
Yeah,
writing there. Yeah, because then
yeah,
they get blown back. I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what? What's happening?" But
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
did think in that moment, like, "Oh, poor Foggy," because I do
I
feel
don't
like
kiss on the first date. Like it's like,
yeah, I do feel
bro.
like he likes her. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And even him like
And
saying like, yeah, he always knows how all the hot girls are before that he touches their face somehow.
yeah, somehow he just knows. I do like that about him. And what's so funny is, we've talked about Foggy being in idle hands. The guys I've been talking to at work are like 10 years younger than me and have
Mm,
no idea what idle hands
such
is.
a good movie.
I know. So I was like, have y'all seen Idle Hands? They're like, no, what's that? And I'm like, a movie you need to see like right now because they like that kind of stuff. And I was like, Foggy's in that. That's what I
Yeah.
recognized him from. They're like, what? We've never seen him in anything. And I'm like, he's in this. You need to watch it.
Hmm.
It's great. But
Yeah.
but yeah, these next four have been a treat. I'm very intrigued to see what Fisk and Vanessa and co are brewing.
I really want you to watch that stuff like right now. I want to know your reaction
Right now,
so
we
bad.
can go. I might do that. I might at least watch episode 9 just to see.
Oh, you all right?
I know
You
you
say
say that. You're
that.
like, you're going to keep watching.
Yeah. Like,
I
nope,
have to make
I'm all
myself
done.
stop these days. Dude, I could just sit and rot and watch and binge.
Mm,
I'm one of those, but I have to make myself stop or I
yeah,
would. I
I'm
would have
gonna
already
watch them.
watched.
I'm watching them as soon as I'm done with this because like I need it. My
Mm.
blood is like you got to watch that right now, even though I know like what happens, but I just want to relive it.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, this
fun
is
too.
great, and I hope everybody listening to this, like, if you haven't watched the show yet, I hope that we're
Yeah, please do.
kind of
It's fun
pulling
for
you in.
girls too. Yeah, it's fun for girls too.
Yeah, so this has been so fun covering TV. I don't know, this is something like way different than just covering a movie because there's just so much more like theories, there's more content, I guess you could say, that you
A
can
lot more
bounce off.
questions. Yeah,
Yeah,
bounce off of each
yes.
other. Yeah, for sure. It's
So
been
yeah, this has
fun
been great.
change.
Is there anything you wanna plug? I mean, this is gonna be coming out during that, so I don't know if you have
Oh, July. Yeah,
anything.
yeah, we're in the middle of month of action. We hope you guys who are listening to this are listening to all the other shows that are a part of this.
Yeah,
And
I
if
think
you're
what
following,
24 or some
yeah,
kind of
I
crazy
believe,
amount.
yeah, 23, 24. I think we're up there. It's doubled since last year. So if you're following us on Instagram, then I'm pretty sure you're following a bunch of the other shows. And if you're
Yeah,
not, then please stay tuned to stuff we're posting and tagging with other shows. You guys can follow them too and show some support over there. Um, Other than that, Creeporama, Barron's 10, our code still works. They are still coming out with great stuff, and it's the summer.
hmm
I saw tanks are out. They are dropping the tanks, y'all. Dustin had one on. Big Duh had one on last time we
yeah,
recorded. I was like, oh,
yeah.
he's
I
got
gotta
his
grab a
tank
couple.
on.
Hell yeah.
But other than that, no, we're just chilling, doing movie reviews. Tails is back and kicking. Everything's running per usual over here. Anything you
Hell
got,
yeah.
Lil D?
No, I just want to say thanks everybody for checking us out, and hopefully you're enjoying the TV side of things. Joining
Yeah.
the conversation. Have you seen this before? Have you been on the fence? Did you jump in and only watch the Disney Plus stuff and didn't watch any of this? That's also very intriguing to know if you
Yeah,
didn't
let
know
us know.
any of this prior stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this, and we'll see everybody on the next one.
Bye.
That was one hell of an action sequence, soldier. I haven't seen shooting like that since the Battle of New Hope. The month of action couldn't have done it without you. Mission accomplished.